Hi everyone, my name is Yolanda Anderson. We are back again having conversation with Shaquita Chambers, and we are so excited about what she's going to have, the conversation we're going to have today. But before we get started, hey, don't forget my Instagram page, strong_couples101, strong_couples101, and don't forget my YouTube channel, my new YouTube channel. Come on, guys, I need you all to start subscribing to me, Strong Couples 101, Strong Couples 101, because this interview might not have all of it on the Instagram page, so you will have to go to my YouTube channel to to seeing the interview. So let's get started. As I said before, we're here with Shaquita Chambers, and we are so excited. Oh my God! Thank you for coming. We're glad you're here.
Thank you
We
for
know.
inviting
I
me.
know. I mean, wow! I'm so. We just want to talk about your life and just about some things, the challenges that you've gone through,
Yes.
and share with some people, because there's some people here that might have been through some things, and they might be trying to figure out some things, how to get through. What was your process,
Right.
So we just want to talk to us. What were some of the things that in your life, and you can just start if you want to start in your younger life part, or you want to start when you were married, or what. You can just talk to us. Let us know some things.
Well, I would start in my teen years. So, for many people out there, I know, as teenagers, we do things that we shouldn't be doing, or we get ourselves involved in things that we should not be involved in. So, as a teenager, I did get pregnant at the age of 19. However, I was in a church, and it was frowned upon. But, however, it still was a blessing in disguise, because I was allowed to have a beautiful son that is doing amazing in his life. But not only that, it taught me that as a teenager, sometimes we don't want to listen to our parents or listen to the adults that we have in our lives, because we feel like they don't know what we're going through, or they just don't want us to have fun, or they don't want us to have a boring life. But what we have to remember as teens is that they have already been there, and they are trying to prevent us from making some of the mistakes that they made, or going through some of the things that they have been through. So although you guys may feel like, oh, my mom don't know this, or my grandmother don't know this, please, 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 I urge and I beg of you to listen to them, because they do know, and it will save you a lot of heartache, and it will save you a lot of disappointment in your life if you just listen to them. And some roads they won't have to take.
See, that's what I want to say.
If they listen.
That's
if I had to
exactly what
listen,
yes.
I would not have to grow up so fast because I had a baby. I would not have to put my career on hold because I have to raise a baby. And I would not have really got married because I had a baby. And sometimes because you have a baby, it doesn't mean you have to get married.
Okay, stop right there, Miss Chambers. I need you to really stress on that. Because you have a baby, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to get married.
Right.
But I think today a lot of kids, I think the young people, they kind of know that, but there's those that don't know that.
Right.
So it's important to know that
Absolutely.
it's okay not to get married, because sometimes you get married, what happens?
You get married to the wrong person, or you find yourself in a family that God didn't even want you to be in, because A, you did not consult him, and B, because you allowed the people around you to push you into marrying this person, all because you had a baby with this person. My advice to you would be to just keep yourself until God sends you somebody. That way, it's a lot of heartache you won't go through, because a lot of times that male person that you may be involved with may be hiding things that going on in their family, or things that he's going through, and you don't know, and you find yourself in the family, and now you find yourself going through things that you shouldn't even be going through, or you having to figure out things that you don't even know what to do or how to handle it, because he was molested as a child, but he didn't tell you, but he's having all these nightmares and all these weird dreams, or he's going through all this stuff, and you're trying to have a conversation with him, but he don't want to have a conversation with you because he want to keep that secret, because he don't want you to know, or he don't want his family business out there, or he don't want to look bad.
Okay, so these are some of the things that we have to be aware of.
Yes.
If you up and really marry people, because
Right.
some things you don't know, and it doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad person.
Right.
That person just wasn't good for you, or you, and vice versa. But like you saying, people have things that they haven't dealt with in their life that you might not know about, or the other half. It might be the lady
Correct.
or the male might not know, because they up and married so quickly, and then they didn't consult God, because they allowed their surrounding to affect them. I mean, that is something, I'm telling you, listen, please listen to you. You want
Yes.
anything else that you want to share that, you know?
Yes, I want to say a lot of times you may not be with that person for whatever reason, and if you choose to be with somebody else, just always consult God. Always allow God to be the one that lead and guide and direct you to be with somebody else or to be a part of somebody else, especially if you have kids, because now you're merging a family. But not only that, you're bringing your kids into to be with somebody else, and you don't want whatever generational curses or any strongholds that they might have on their life to be on your kids.
Right.
So I would just say, just please consult. And I'm telling you this because that was my experience.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna go into a lot of details, but all I'm saying is public records are free. Use public records, but not only that, you have to get to the root of every problem. So if the significant other that you're with, if you notice that they're hiding certain things or they don't want to have certain conversations about certain things, get to the root of that problem. And that root is usually something that transpired in their childhood.
That is so important.
If you can get to the root of the problem,
yes,
you can solve the problem.
Yes, yes.
So get to the root of the problem.
Listen, you guys, she's giving out some good advice. Listen, Miss Chambers, this is so good. We need to have these type of conversations, because many times when we go into churches, they just want to brush over things. They want to rush you into a relationship or either a marriage that you really don't need to be into. And then my other thing is, as I've done with my other interviewees, I was thinking about, we need to have good counseling. Sometimes the pastor's not always the best counselor.
Correct.
We need some good sound counseling for premarital counseling for people, because you can find out a lot of things. I really do feel like by me doing it, I know for sure you can. Yes. If you do the right steps, if you do have the right program for the people, because I really want to prevent people from getting divorced. And you have to go through these steps. Some of the heartaches that you're going through, because somebody's going to hear this, you might have prevented someone going through heartaches that they do not have to go through. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm praying that you guys get all this advice, get all this knowledge. We're trying to help you guys be a better you. And really choose and allow God to choose the correct person for you. Ms. Chambers, is there anything else you want to say to us?
Yes, I just want to say, please, premarital counseling is very, very, very important. And I will tell you why. Because, I am happily married now for 8 years, but before that, I was dating a guy before my current husband. And I went to premarital counseling, and the pastor at that time told me, this is not the person for you. You don't want to marry him. If I did not go to counseling, I would have married this person, and I don't know where I would be or what I may even be going through. So sometimes we feel like, I don't want nobody in my business, or I don't want nobody to tell me this, or I don't want nobody to give me advice. Please take the advice. It will save your life.
Yes.
And that person right now today, from my understanding, is in jail. So what would I be? So you have to listen to the people that's trying to give you advice. And not only that, if I have any people out there, teens, females, males, that are struggling with anything that they may be going through in their life, I just have a little journal that I have written. And the name of the journal is What Are You Doing to Starve the Enemy? And this book will help you a lot, because a lot of times the enemy will tell us certain things, or don't talk to people about this, or don't talk to people about that. But this book right here is a good book because it gives you different things that you can do. Like, you can check in daily with yourself to see where you are mentally, to see where you are spiritually, or to even see where you are in your prayer life. You can jot whatever issues you're having down in this book. You don't have to tell nobody. This is just between you and God. You can write notes. You can do whatever it is you want to do in this book that will help you in your walk with Jesus. Now, you can purchase this book on Amazon. Just type in the title. But I just want everybody to know, if you're struggling in your walk with Jesus, or you may not know where to go, or you may feel like, oh my God, why all this stuff is happening to me? Sometimes we don't realize we have a door that's open, and we're just allowing the enemy to walk in that door. But if we use this book will help us close some of those doors that don't need to be open.
I love it. And just before I go further into this, I wanted to also ask Ms. Chambers, because this is when she into her new life. This is with her new husband. She's God has allowed and given her new ideas, has allowed her to open some doors that she might not have opened if she had been with the other gentleman, if she had not talked to God first. So this is important. So I'm going to come back and talk about this book, okay? But she's already given me some more, and we're going to re-say it again. But I want to talk about a little bit more about your new life, that God has allowed her to open up doors for new ideas. And this is the things that God do for you.
Yes.
When you follow His instruction, He begin to open up new doors, give you new ideas, begin to open up some things that you might not have thought about. Listen, and God will begin to open up them doors, that mindset, changing your minds and doing some different things. Can you talk to me about your new life with your new life?
I can. So this book was inspired through one day I was sitting at my desk at home, and I was just talking to the Lord. I was like, Lord, everybody I know, they doing this, they doing that, they got this book, they got that book. I said, I'm just sitting here doing, I said, all I'm doing is just crafting and making stuff. I said, I know it has to be more to my life than that. So, I have been praying and asking the Lord, like, I want to be more spiritual. I want to have a stronger life with you.
Yes.
I want to be closer to you. And I'm sitting there and I'm reading and I hear, what are you doing to starve the enemy? And I said, Lord, well, I ain't not doing nothing wrong. And, and I'm looking around in my room trying to make sure, like, is somebody in here? Is it me? And I just didn't think anything about it. The next day, I'm in my study time again. And I heard it again. What are you doing to starve the enemy? So then I start thinking about my life and things that I was going through and things that I was doing. So I was in a place of my life where I'm ready to get with you at 2.5 seconds. You say the right word to me and it's on and popping. But I had to realize that that was the trick of the enemy to get me out of the will of God. Because if you say something to me, I'm ready to lay hands on you, not in a holy way. So in the process of doing that, I said, wait a minute. I'm not starving the enemy when it comes to my attitude, when it comes to how I address things, when it comes to how I approach people, when it comes to how fast I am to ready to get with you and tell you the business and let you have it and don't care how you feel. So this started right here first. Yeah. It had to start with me first before I can give it to somebody else. But now I can say, if you come at me, you know what, I'm so sorry you feel that way, but I love you and I'm going to pray for you. That's what this book will do for you. This book will make you change your life in a way that you may not even realize that it will change if you be true to who you are. First, you have to admit that you have the problem. Because if you don't admit that you have the problem, then you can't solve the problem.
Listen.
So I had to be like, okay, God, you right.
Chambers.
I do. I give you a look that the kid, listen, I'm ready to get you before Jesus gets the news. But this book right here, it's going to help you out.
Oh, listen to Miss Chambers, you guys. We got some attitudes out there. Come on now.
Yes.
We need to starve that enemy. Come on. It's some things, the way we kind of view things. We need to starve the enemy because sometimes the way we view things are not always right. So we need to be able to allow God to light, to shine, to come out, illuminate out of us. Okay, so whatever we need to do in order for us to surrender all unto God, let's do it. If it's take this book, come on, let's starve the enemy. Listen, this is so beautiful. She already, the whole armor, we got to put the whole armor on. I know we don't have this helmet, but we need all of the whole armor. Listen, you guys. We have got to starve the enemy. I love this. I would recommend this book for you guys. I would pray that you guys order the book. It's on Amazon, right?
Yes, Amazon. And all you have to do is just type in the title and the first book that comes up.
Title, and then it will come up, and you can order this book. This is a daily book for you just to go through and for just to read and just, if hey, buy something for your friend, your mother, whoever. This is a good book, so I would recommend anyone to do this. Oh, wow, Miss Chamber, it has been a pleasure.
Yes,
it has been a pleasure. I tell you, have given some great advice, but just before we leave, if there's anything else that you want to say just before we leave?
What I want to say is, no matter what you do in life, where you go, whatever decisions you make sure you put God first. make sure you ask God before you do anything. I don't care if it's walking across the street. Ask God, because sometimes we do things because we want to, or we do things because we feel that it's the right thing to do. But I'm telling you, nothing will go right if you do not consult God, even when it comes to your relationship. And if you do get in a relationship, significant other, whoever, whatever, please, 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 always keep God at the forefront. If you fail, male or female, if you're with somebody and they don't want to pray and they don't want to seek God, please run. Please run. Please run. And I love you and thank you for having me.
I appreciate you so much. Wow, guys, listen. She has said a mouthful. She said a lot of, gave y'all a good advice. She's giving guidance. She also left her book. Don't forget her book, Let's Starve This Enemy. I think this will be a good book for all of us. You know, this will be good for us to have. So I thank God for you guys. Thank you all. Don't forget my Instagram page. Please do not forget Strong_Couples 101 and my YouTube channels, Strong Couples 101. And don't forget, this interview might not be all on Instagram. So hey, look on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all. Bye, 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 bye.